Hi, I'm Joan Rosenberg-Dent and welcome to my ceramic studio. Come on in and I'll give you a little tour. This is my kiln, one of them, and it's an electric kiln where I fire my pieces. And we're going to start in this little mini gallery that I have. And I would like to share some of my work with you. As you can see, most of the pieces are porcelain, and I work with porcelain because they are translucent. I can work pretty thin with it because it's a very strong material. So I started off as a vessel maker, but I didn't want to make vessels for utilitarian wear. So I filled the interior spaces with pieces of sculpture. This is called dockside. And then I got more interested in the sculpture, so I aborted the vessel and just started doing sculptures. And I work in a series. This is from a series called Balance. It's not just having balance in the piece, but having balance in your life. Most of the pieces are conceptual. They start with a concept, and then I abstract my own feelings from it. Sometimes I use black, but mostly white. I did try making all my forms multicolored and multi-glazes, and I realized that the form was more important to me than the frosting on the cake. So I left color and went to pure form. This is a piece about riding the waves, about the ocean. And then I thought, what if I could put porcelain on a wall? So I started doing these wall pieces. The shadows are very significant to the piece. They add a lot of depth. These edges are all blackened, so the edge really is apparent. It's called Essence number 2. This is a sweet little piece that I call Soft Whispers. You can see how deep the porcelain protrudes from the wall, maybe 7 or 9 inches. This piece is about a new alphabet developing. Another wall piece. A lot of reflection and sunlight in here today. Now you're going to start to see some of my dancers from the dance series. I was inspired by Martha Graham, who would come to my university and do master classes, and she would wear a long drape dress and lean on her cane, and this was one of her gestures. I'm also inspired by travel, and these 2 little pieces were inspired by Kusama when I came back from Japan and saw all her polka dots everywhere. Another porcelain poem. So you can see how shadow and light become part of the piece. This piece is called Raw Edges. The porcelain has been torn, not cut. It's one of my favorite pieces. Again, Kusama inspired. And sometimes I even get playful. And I did this little wagon piece called Riding the Waves. So I will back, oh, I didn't show you this one. This is a piece that I called Sea Scrolls because I found this lobster trap at the beach and it inspired me to make the piece. So I'm going to take you into my workspace right now. It's a real raw workspace. It is not neat and clean. There are a couple pieces in here as well. I have limited wall space, so I make use of everything I have. This is called a white wave, and hanging on the wall above it is another sea-inspired piece. And through the mess is another piece that I'd like to share called Inner Peace, inspired by a mandala. And we'll walk around the studio a little bit. And you can see that I'm inspired by the ocean. That's my wonderful view. This is a piece that I call Frosted Forest, and it's paper. Now on my shelves you will see lots and lots of dancers. I often have collectors come and I clear my work table and they choreograph their own piece. They decide which pieces they would like to put together. It could be a black and a brown, or whites and blacks, or big and small. And they play with them. And they interact, and the piece becomes their piece. And I love interactive pieces and sharing my work with others. So I'll show you some of my equipment. This is my most favorite piece of equipment. It's my slab roller, and that is an extruder back here that you can see. It's like a giant Play-Doh fun factory. And sometimes I do get playful. And on my table, I have some new work that is inspired by the virus. Every morning I do go on walks and I'm outside in nature, and I've gotten very interested in plants and flowers. So this is a complete piece ready for the kiln. It's made up of many, every single different flower, all put together. And that will be on a panel, and hopefully some of these smaller pieces will get scattered amongst them or go down the wall. I like to not plan everything out. I like surprises. So after I fire the pieces, the discovery of how things work together is the excitement for me. So I'll back out of my studio now. And I want to tell you that you're welcome to come and visit for a studio visit in person as soon as this virus thing goes away. Stay well and be healthy. Bye for now.